Hey, it's Sinakron, and today we're going to talk about starting Outlands in 2025. So if you're a new player and you want to get started, or you're an existing player that quit because of different reasons, you're going to want to watch this as well. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. One of the biggest complaints that I have seen on Reddit and Discord and anywhere else where I've talked with people about Outlands is the cost of getting started. People have quit or not played because they said that the aspects and codexes are too expensive and they just can't get going. So we are going to work on that today. The first character that I'm going to talk about is a minor lumberjack. They make ridiculous amounts of money. Now, it can be a little bit slow and tedious, but if you have the ability to stream movies or TV shows while playing, it makes it a lot easier. Me personally, I have a 2-monitor setup, so I can put Netflix on one and the game on the other, and so I just kind of bide my time. I'm having fun mining and I'm watching a show or a movie at the same time. Now, let's talk about the income that they make. So here is iron ingot commodities. Now we're talking about just the plain iron ingot, no color. And as you can see, that is just crazy. This is a 5,000 count commodity deed, and you're looking at 155,000 and up. So you're definitely able to make pretty good money right away. Now it's going to take a little bit to get your first 5,000, but once you get your mining skill and you know where to mine, you're going to make that pretty quick. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. And now let's check lumber. And here we have the board commodities. Again, no colored boards, just plain boards. And you're starting at 110,000 and going up, and that's for 5,000. Boards are even easier to collect than iron. And there are literally trees everywhere. So this by far is one of the best ways to get started in Outlands. All right, let's talk template. Now, I have 120 listed for lumberjacking and mining, and that's your goal. That is what you eventually want to achieve. But obviously, for now, you're only going to be able to start out at 100. So you'll start out with 100 lumberjacking and 100 mining. Those are going to be your money makers. Camping at 100, you want to make sure that you are able to go ahead and carry as much as possible. With boards, it doesn't matter quite as much because they're pretty light logs, I should say. But the ore, until you get it smelted, can be quite heavy. So I definitely recommend camping at 100. Majory at 100, and then Spirit Speak at 100. That way you can go ahead and summon some different things to help clear out mining and lumberjack areas. And then tracking at 100, so you can keep track of those pesky reds, and you can go ahead and recall out before they reach you. And 80 med, so that you can go ahead and get that mana back as quick as possible. Now, there are other templates you can use, but me personally, when you're taking up 2 spots with mining and lumberjacking, you're not going to make a character that's super viable in PvP. You might be able to, but do you really want a chance losing the boards or logs or ore that you have on you by chasing a red that attacked you? You might kill him, you might not, but you might end up dying too and losing everything that you had on you. So for me personally, I'm here to make money with this character. I'm not here to PvP or PVM. So I'm going to do as little of that as possible. So this is what I really recommend, especially for a new player. You can get out quick and be on your way. Now, obviously, at the beginning, you're not going to have a rune book because rune books can be expensive, and then you've got to pay, I want to say it's 50,000 to get it blessed, but that's okay because a couple of iron ingot commodity deeds and you've got that easily paid for and then some. So just starting out, that is the template you're going to want. Now you can mine and lumberjack in shelter, but from what I understand, the gains aren't any quicker in shelter than they are in the real world. So me personally, I would concentrate on getting my majory up to 80 and getting my tracking and camping up to 80 in shelter, and then moving out into the real world so that you can get those up to 100 and you can really start gaining. Now again, that's my personal opinion. That has worked well for me. To each their own. Other people might recommend it a different way. So let's take a look at some of the things that will help you mine and lumberjack a lot quicker and save yourself a lot of clicking. Okay, so here we have the ultimate mining script by Jaseowns, and this thing is just killer. I absolutely love it. It does everything that I need it to do, and it works great. Now, I have a personal hotkey to recall out if there's a PK. This has it built in, but I always use my regular one. But this script here is great, and I will link it in the description. But this has saved me so much clicking. There's really nothing to get started. You just kind of run it and go. It's just absolutely great. It will not recall for you. You have to do that. So you can use it with a recall runebook, or you can just run around to places on your own and use it. But it is absolutely great and saves so much clicking. Okay, let's talk about our support character. What I chose here is a very easy basic build. Music and peacemaking, so you can piece the mobs while you beat on them. Macing and tactics at 100. Now you can use any fighting skill, swords, fencing, archery, but I chose macing because it does some heavy damage, and I don't know, I've always had a thing for macing. I've always enjoyed it. Chivalry and tactics at 100. That way you can go ahead and use chivalry to travel to the different towns and dungeons. Healing and anatomy at 80, so eventually you can get a healer's codex, and then camping at 40. Now obviously, as you progress, this template here will definitely change, if not even completely get rid of this character and start a different one. But this is just something that will get you started, where you have the gold needed to buy pickaxes and regular axes. And you're going to need to replace your mining and lumberjacking tools a lot, and you need some kind of basic income for them. Plus, it's a fun way to get started in PVM. And again, this is a very basic character, just to get you started and get you the hang of PVM and stuff like that. You can eventually change it up, add discordance on there. You can get rid of peacemaking if you want. You can make it a full dexer and get rid of the bard stuff completely. There's a lot of different things you can do, but this will get you started. It's a great and cheap way. So let's talk about how to play that character. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and you can click on peacemaking, targeting, and everything else yourself. You can also use the Ultimate Auto Dexer, again by Jaseowns. He does some amazing stuff. If you do a search for him, you can find videos, all kinds of very informative videos and everything else. But this is just another one of his scripts. This is great, and it also works with barding. So basically, it will do a lot of it for you. You hit go and you run your character around, and it will go ahead and piece the nearest character, and it will start attacking it and everything else. Now you have to control the character. It doesn't do it on its own, but it does a lot of the basics for you. When you take damage, it'll start your healing process and everything else. So very, very handy script to use. And again, I will link this in the description as well. Now, unfortunately, I did kind of forget to go ahead and show the starting skills and why you should get those. So to start with, your starting skill for your minor lumberjack should be magery at 50. You want that as high as you can, plus you'll get a spell stone that will help you get roughly to 75-ish without running out of free charges. You definitely want that spell stone because you won't need any regs for it. The next thing is lumberjacking and mining at 25 each, because you want to make sure you get a couple free pickaxes and hatchets to get you started with that. Now you want your strength at 45, intel at 25, and dexterity at 10. As you're starting things, they will give you stuff like intel boosts and stuff, little intel stones that you click on to give you some extra intel and stuff like that. That'll get you started. You'll also have 1,000 credits, and you can use that to buy any other skills. I would take lumberjacking and mining to 50 each, and it'll take off 250 credits from each one. Basically, when you tell the trainer that you would like to learn something, it'll tell you how much, and you drop your credit sheet on it, and it'll take the credits right off of there. And then you can also get your spirit speak up to 50. I would let med go naturally. All right, these are the skills that I would start with for your Paladin Peacemaker. I would start at chivalry at 50, or at least some kind of chivalry anyway, so that you can get your chivalry book. Otherwise, you have to buy it, and there's very few out there, and they're very expensive. So I would definitely start with chivalry, and then I would start with mace fighting and musicianship at 25. They will gain quickly in shelter, and you can also use your credits to raise them up to 50 each. And then for your last bit, I would definitely put that into healing. I know some people would say put it into peacemaking, but again, that gains pretty quick. Healing is tougher and longer, so I would definitely put that into healing. All right, so that is my suggestions. There's a lot of different ones out there, but from my experience, that would be the most beneficial for a new player to start out, or for somebody who quit fairly soon into playing Outlands. It's a quick way to get your characters up and going. Now, I would also recommend those two characters being on separate accounts. I would put your macing Peacemaker on your main account. That's going to be your PVM account. And then I would put your Lumberjack on a second account, because you can have 3 accounts in Outlands. In another video, I will explain why you want them on different accounts, but I would definitely put them on different accounts to begin. So that is it. As always, Outlands has a great community, and I really appreciate all of the support that I've gotten from everybody with my videos and everything else. So as always, thank you for your support, and thank you for watching.